The 725th edition of the MMA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Sign up with promo code MMASGPN to get a 50% deposit bonus of up to $1,000. And we're brought to you by Rebet, a new sports book available in 45 states. Download Rebet in your app store and use promo code SGPN for a 100% deposit match up to $100. And next, we're brought to you by Rhythm, the leader in data-driven picks and props. Get your 7-day free trial today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. And finally, we're brought to you by the SGPN College Football Playoff Challenge. Free to enter and a $1,000 grand prize. Just go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/CFP to enter today.
Howdy ho, degenerinos. Welcome to episode 725 of the MMA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network, dedicated to Jonathan Krager, who is active in our on our YouTube channel in the comments. So any who had a ticket, a futures ticket on Norma Dumont to be the champ at the end of this year, and it almost happened,
not
right?
Bad.
Yeah.
Did we not talk about Norma Dumont on our ladies episode?
I mentioned her at the very least. Yeah.
Okay.
She's definitely. I don't know if she was one of my. I can't remember if
she's one of those one. I think she was one of your middling ones because she looks so like surprisingly good in her last, like shockingly good in her last fight.
Yep. And she seems to be in better shape now too, or stronger now. So yeah, it looks like things are trending up for her. So anyhow, the guy you just heard is the guy on the left, Gumby Vreeland. I am the guy on the right, Mr. $594.75. It's too awkward to say that too.
It's not there, man. It's not
big body. What was my name? Tip Sport Jeff Fox. Still be
no. Big Taco. No, not Big Taco. Big Body Taco.
There's another big body in the Discord I saw. Someone took my name, Big Body, and then a bunch of numbers after his name.
Do you think you could just be Taco then? I think Taco Fox was the move.
I could be Taco Fox. It's true because I'm not Mexican at all. So it's kind of like cultural appropriation, which I'm all down for sure. Obviously. We're going to appropriate some of the Czech culture this episode, right? We're covering one of our favorites.
This is usually where you slaughter some pronunciations.
Oh, there's going to be some slaughter in here. Even though most of these fighters' names I've said at least one, so that doesn't some of them are new ones, I guess, for me. Will not make a difference. Is this the best Oktagon card we've covered? Maybe not. The big dome
I don't know. Maybe yes. Like this is right up there, man.
Yeah.
I mean, like, so some of those other fights, like maybe had a better. I don't know. Maybe they didn't have a better top to bottom. This one's got, Bolander is on the prelims. She is probably, in my opinion, we'll talk about her later, future champ. You got Jonas Magard. He's like 5th fight from the top or something like that. Yep. And that dude's an absolute beast. Yep. Former champ there. You've got 3 title fights, all with pretty tight odds. The rematch between Paradiser and Kita. I'm pretty sure when we talked about Tip Sport Game Changer at the beginning of the year, I said, if everything goes to plan for Oktagon, it'll be those two in a rematch in the finals. And look where we are. It is a rematch for those two in the finals. It is exactly what they would have wanted. So, and then obviously the catapulting star power of Will Fleury, who seems to be welcomed by every single crowd he sees.
Yep.
Really excited. I think this might be one of the best cards they've ever put on.
There you go. So hopefully everybody is watching this episode and check out Oktagon. They stream it on their own. I shouldn't say these things like I don't know, but they do stream it. I don't watch it anywhere else, honest. They stream it on their. Do you know how much it costs on their
$12 American? What's that? Like 25 Canadian?
Canadian, that's way no more. It's like, it's like 40 something cents at this point. So it's unreal, which I get paid only in American at this point. So I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
$17 Canadian. So
okay.
Yeah, but yeah, I get 43% more. So whatever I get paid, I get another 43, like $10. I get another 430 on top of that. So I approve of the dollar, whatever is causing it. That's fine with me. So, all right. Their prelims are only 4 fights. So we're going to sneak one of the main card fights onto our prelim episode to make an even 5 today and 5.
It all gets aired in the same place anyway, with the exception of, there's usually a prelim or 2 and they're round 0 on YouTube. But Yeah, like they're all aired the same place. So calling it a main card or a prelim doesn't matter, other than sometimes they squeeze like a concert or something in between.
Yeah, actually, am I missing we're gonna have to, I should have checked on this before. I should have told Gumby this before. I'm going off the order that Oktagon has on their site because
good. That's what you should have done.
Yeah. Because Tapology is some of these promotions, Tapology is not totally up to date.
You got we're kicking off with Batfalsky versus Toporcer.
Yes, that's the first one.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, you're good. Yeah. You're good enough to start then.
After I tell you all, I don't know if you can still get in. You might be able to. We have our first annual college football contest going on now at SGPN. At the very least, you can check it out. It is on. If you win, you got to pick sides and totals, and for every game. And if you win, you can win $1,000 for the grand prize. It's free to enter. Just go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/CFP. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/CFP. Worth a try at this late time to get in on that. So. The Tapology says 11 fights, but I think there's only 10. Is that correct? As far as you know?
Yeah, because I think Tapology still got Shamrock's fight on there, and that fight's off.
Right. Yeah, I mentioned that, and you said, nope, it's done. It's off. So, yeah.
No Shamrock.
No Shamrock, which is sad. It's still, even without that, it's still a
pretty sick card.
Was it the boss, Sean? Did he not did he not talk about Shamrock when you were on it?
They did talk. Yeah, we talked about Shamrock.
How did you know about Shamrock?
Because they so they asked me what I bet on when the UFC goes away one time, and I was like, there's actually this like Czech promotion, Oktagon. Like, it's the first thing that comes to my mind. Like, there's this Czech promotion called Oktagon that's got great fights, and I think Ryan Googled it, and there's a dude named Shamrock, not Shamrock, Shamrock. And he's Irish, and that makes it even better.
Exactly. Has he been on your show before?
No, I would love to have Shamrock. He's a pretty entertaining dude from the interviews I've seen.
If you're listening to Shamrock, come on.
Hit me up, Shem.
Yeah, the Jinx has been dead for at least a couple of years, so you don't worry about it. So, all right, so this is the Oktagon 65, the Oktagon 65. Putting the in front of it helps. Paradiser versus Kita 2, December the 29th. 1200 hours. So it is actually, what time is it going down in our time zone? Eastern. Do you know off the top of your head? Now that I closed Tapology, I don't have it.
I thought it was right around noontime it was starting.
Maybe they updated the time just for me. They did. Wow. Yeah, Oktagon's got a good website.
Noon Eastern time.
Noon Eastern on the 29th. Hopefully a lot of you people are off work. Actually, it doesn't really matter with you, degens. Oh, it's a Sunday. So you more than likely will be off work. The O2 Arena in Hlavní Mesto Praha, which I believe is a name of a place in Czech Republic. So their home spot. I should check out the attendance there or the capacity there, because they tend to pack these.
Well, it's not a stadium show though, so they're not going to hit the like
German
it's not
numbers that
they had. This is just a regular show, but like they still usually get like 12 to 1,500 or 1,000 or something like that.
Yeah. And it's in technically in Prague. I guess that was that's like a suburb, the places I was saying. 18,000 people it can fit up to. So yeah.
A little bit bigger than what I said.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it should be fun though. And if you like KSW, it's that type of crap, big spectacle, lots of people going crazy, all that fun stuff. All right, let's get you some winning picks. Now that I've rambled on, I don't need to kill time here. I need to get right into the fights. We are starting things off, as Gumby said, with the featherweight bout. Jakub Batfalsky from Czech Republic versus Dominik Toporcer. He's not from the Czech Republic. Where is this gentleman from? What flag is that? Tapology can help me with that, right? Toporcer is from... Gumby's not going to help me at all because he doesn't know, I don't think either. Slovak Republic. So yes. Let's break her down, shall we? Have you seen the odds, Gumby, for this?
Yeah, I got the odds on every single fight.
Okay. Boring. Toporcer is El Diablo, the devil. He's 4-2, 2 knockouts, 2 submissions, so he's finished everyone. He's never been finished himself. This is his debut in Oktagon. Loss over his last 3. He's fought at bantamweight, 1-0 in pro Muay Thai, 0-1 in pro boxing, plus 163. Batfalsky, 5-1, 2 knockouts, 2 submissions, never been finished, 0-1 in Oktagon. He's won 2 straight. He's fight at lightweight, 1-0 in Muay Thai, 0-1 in kickboxing, 3 inches of height over Toporcer, minus 225.
I'm going to go with Batfalsky here as the favorite out the gate, but I am going to do it with, and you know how much I love doing it with a caveat. I'm going to do it with a caveat here. King caveat. I started by breaking down these fights without looking at the odds as much as I could. And then like the top fights on the main card I had already seen, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But when I saw this, like a couple of young guys, one's 21, one's 22, fairly good records on both sides. I thought Batfalsky would be a favorite at 5-1 versus 4-2 and like similar kind of style fights and stuff like that. I didn't expect him to be this big a one. And part of the reason I didn't expect him to be this big a one is I actually think Toporcer is quite a bit faster on the feet. He's definitely more reckless. He's a guy who gets after it, but Falsky is a lot safer. The difference maker for me, though, and why I still like Batfalsky, despite the fact that Toporcer is definitely going to be the aggressor, definitely going to be the sharper striker to start, is that Toporcer makes a lot of mistakes. He's a guy who he's kind of erratic. He gets and because he gets after it so fast, sometimes he makes mistakes. His takedowns don't always look particularly technical. He's so eager to get in the clinch sometimes when he's going for the takedown that he doesn't really get to the hips where he needs to be. And if you watch Batfalsky, that is probably where he looks his absolute best, is making people pay for dumb things. Especially in the grappling. Like his last fight, somebody went to take him down like 150 times. And when he got the finish, it was because that guy went to go take him down, wasn't particularly technical in the way he did it. He reversed the position and sort of tripped him himself, and then landed like 100 punches to end the fight. But Falsky is just a guy who like does a really good job of staying, especially for being 22, staying super composed, super technical. And when somebody makes a mistake, he pounces on it and makes him pay for it. And Toporcer, being as erratic and as crazy as he is, I just sort of assume he'll make one of those mistakes, and Batfalsky will take advantage of it. So give me Batfalsky. Not sure he's sneaking away into any of these parlays at -225. But that being said, I still do think he's going to get the win here.
You would think the guy with fall in his last name would be the one making the mistakes, but you say it's going to be Toporcer. So, okay, there you go. There's the dad joke. Sorry to say, it will not be the only dad joke of the day. I was going to say that's the mandatory dad joke, but there'll be more, I'm sure. All right, we're sticking. That was featherweights, right? Yeah, we're sticking with featherweights. Marco Novák, he is from the Czech Republic as well. Now that I know that flag. Eemil Kurhela is from Finland. Does that sound right? Yeah. 3 5-minute rounds, 145. Sticking with 145. Novák, 5-1, 1 knockout, 2 submissions. He's been knocked out once, 2-1 in Oktagon. He's won 3 straight and 4 of 5. He used to fight at 155. He was a pro grappler, or is a pro grappler. 0-1 in pro Muay Thai, 0-1 in pro kickboxing, -110. So we got a close one. Kurhela, Sergeant, 7-2, 3 knockouts, 3 submissions. He's been submitted twice. 0-1 in Oktagon, 2-1 over his last 3. Got submitted in his last fight. Used to fight at 155 as well. 3 years younger than Novák, -120.
I think we're getting a great number on Kurhela here.
Okay,
I just talked in that last fight about how I don't like the number on the favorite and still picking him to win. This one's almost a pick 'em. And I would have had Kurhela as a big favorite here. And mostly just because like he's coming off of that loss, right? You said he's coming off a rear naked choke submission loss. That's the Max Holzer who we talked about. Max Holzer, kind of a beast. A dude who, Oktagon has circled for, put this guy near the top of the division soon. An absolute bulldog in the clinch, is a guy who wears people down with his wrestling and his grappling. All of that is true of Max Holzer, and he had a tough time with Kurhela early in that fight. Kurhela stuffed a ton of his takedowns early. He's really good at digging for the underhook. When a guy goes to take him down, and you could see this easily in the Holzer fight, he pulls up on the face a lot, and that really opens up his ability to get an underhook, and he never misses the opportunity to dig the underhook when he can get it. It makes him really good on defensive takedowns, and if you go back far enough in his fights, you can actually see him use that kind of stuff offensively too. Obviously, it didn't work that way in the Holzer fight, and he wound up losing that fight, but he does look really good in the clinch. And then in addition to that too, in that Holzer fight, he kind of walked down Holzer in some of those instances. And when he was throwing hands, he looked pretty darn good doing it. And for me, Novák, I've seen the striking. I think it's all right. He did win his last fight by out grappling Rosal, who I kind of think more of as a kickboxer anyway. So he looked good at grappling a kickboxer, but what do we even say about that? So I think he's got some kickboxing chops. Obviously, he comes from the Muay Thai background and the kickboxing background. But I think Kurhela here is probably going to be better with the footwork. I think if he does choose to wrestle, he's the better fighter there. And I like the way he was picking apart Max Holzer. So yeah, give me Eemil Kurhela here, and negative 120, great price.
That's what we like to hear. Great prices. All right. We also like to tell you about our friends at Underdog. Underdog Pick'em is one of the biggest menus for all sports. You win up to 1,000 times your entry with Underdog Streaks. Underdog is always making it easier to win with profit boosts and gimme pick'ems. NFL, college football, college basketball, MMA, NBA, NASCAR, and more. They got it all. And you can now use your specials boost on all flex entries. Gumby, a play for Monday Night Football or anything else coming up?
Oh, I always got to play for Monday Night Football. So
yep.
Monday Night Football, for those of you who are wondering this week, are the Saints and the Packers. If I'm going to that game, I want to stay away from the Saints side. I'm never quite sure about those. But Josh Jacobs, the dude has been absolutely running wild for the. Oh man, did I not have the? There you go. There's the Underdog fantasy graphic. Have been.
Some people saw it instead. Oh my god!
I think they saw you just reading the ad. That's fine.
Scratching my armpit. That's very embarrassing.
That's great. We're gonna have to watch that one back. Josh Jacobs has absolutely been running wild for the Packers. I think he continues that up against the Saints on Monday night. So give me the higher than on his rushing yards.
All right. Gumby says, you listen. Go to underdogfantasy.com and use our code MMASGPN to claim your special pick and first time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus cash. Underdogfantasy.com, promo code MMASGPN. And we're brought to you by Rebet. Rebet is a new social sports book available in 45 states. There are plenty of betting opportunities available on Rebet. It's easy to use and great for people in states where traditional sports books may be restricted. Download Rebet in the App Store and use the promo code SGPN for 100% deposit match up to $100. That's Rebet, promo code SGPN. All right, let's move right along to a person that Gumby interviewed, and she was a fun interview from Norway. Cecilie, Bolander. She's fighting from Croatia. Sara Luzar Smajić. Smajić, is that right? Like magic with an Smajić. 3 5 rounds, 135 female fight. Guerrera, you can call Smajić the female version of Warrior, 4-2 with 1 knockout. Never been finished in a fight. This is her debut in Oktagon. She's won 4 of her last 5. She did lose her last fight, though. It was back in July of 2022. She's not won since April 2022. Used to fight at 125, 3 inches taller than Bolander, plus 275. Bolander, 3-1 with 2 submissions, never been finished in a fight. 0-1 in Oktagon. That was her last fight that she lost. Her only fight that she lost. Regional champion. She also was the European the amateur champ for Europe. There you go. A year younger than Smajić, minus 400. So big things expected of Bolander here.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping the records would fool the books here, but they didn't, because she looks so good in that Lucy Pudilova fight. First of all, she got really high level judo. I love the way her judo looks in the clinch. She's not somebody who just uses their judo and starts going for head and arm throws, as I know you love in women's MMA.
Women's MMA, baby.
She gets the hips. She's got a bunch of different throws. I really actually like if you go back in mouth fights, even in her IMMAF stuff, a lot of trip style judo takedowns, which you don't see as much of out of your judo folk. They're usually looking for the high impact stuff. Trying to look like Ronda Rousey, and she's got some of those tosses too, but she's got some inside trips in there that are particularly good. And on top of that, if you watch that fight with Lucy Pudilova, she floored Pudilova with a left hook in that fight. And to put Lucy Pudilova on the floor with a strike is not an easy thing to do. We saw her look tough throughout her UFC career, and then a 3-0 fighter, now 3-1, and Bolander put her down. I really thought that fight could go either way. I picked Lucy Pudilova to win that fight, and I remember when the judges' scorecards were coming, not feeling great about it. And then, for as far as the Smajić side, I know I haven't talked about her at all here, but she, the big downfall for her is just how much she leans forward when she strikes. She's somebody who does not have her feet underneath her all that often. And when you're talking about somebody who is particularly good at judo and who cracked her last opponent, what could be worse than leaning too far forward? Because if she doesn't have her feet underneath her, it is just absolutely primed for a big takedown from a judo specialist. It's also really primed to get eaten some big counters. So, I think Smajić is the perfect opponent for Bolander to have, sort of just a signature win here. And I expect her to win it whatever way she wants. So yeah, Cecilie Bolander, minus 400, slam dunk here.
Slam dunk. Throw in a parlay, possibly as well. Maybe when the odds drop at mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN, maybe you can get a better line on that. Hopefully you can. Don't think the odds are on that book yet, but that is our favorite book, right, Gumby?
That's right. Always make sure you use mybookie.ag.
Promo code
SGPN.
There you go. We're not doing an ad read yet. I just thought I'd throw that in though. All right, lightweight about is next. Jakub Tichota. He is from the Czech Republic. Ozan Aslaner from Germany. 3 5-minute rounds. What did I say? 155? Yes, 155. I will tell you about Aslaner first. 8-5-1 with 5 knockouts. He's been knocked out once. 0-1 in Oktagon. He's 0-2 over his last 2, obviously. 2-2 over his last 4. Lost his last 5 via TKO. That was back in December of 2022. He's not lost a fight since October 2021. No, sorry, he's not won since October 2021. Regional champion. Used to fight at welterweight plus 350. Tichota is chimp. All capital letters, though.
I don't know.
Any idea?
I got
No?
nothing.
That's worth having him on your show just to find that out. That's a good nickname. So it's spelled like it's an acronym or something, which would be even more interesting. He's 5-3, 2 knockouts, 1 submission. He's been knocked out once. All those fights have taken place in Oktagon, which is impressive. He's lost 3 straight fights. That's not so impressive. He's not won since March 2022. One of these guys are going to get off the schneid on the 29th. Used to fight at featherweight, 2 years younger, 2 inches taller than Aslander. Minus 549 for a guy who has lost 3 straight.
I'm going big dog. I love Aslander in this one. We got 0-3 versus 0-2. You got records that are sort of comparable. You've got distance from their last win, sort of comparable. I kind of thought this was gonna be a pick'em. I thought these odds would be close, and then I watched the film, and I like Aslander quite a bit more than I like Tichota. Tichota throws a lot of loopy stuff. It does wind up being powerful because he winds up so heavily on it. But if you watch Aslander's last fight, which by the way he did lose, it is the only TKO loss on his record, but it was by injury. And not particularly which is why we haven't seen him in so long too. It was a knee injury on a takedown attempt. He went to stuff a double leg and his knee just gave out and then the fight was over. So he's never been knocked out. So up against the guy who's throwing big bombs and trying to throw loopy stuff, and he's kind of always kept himself safe. Aslander has been really good defensively striking, and I think he can stay away from that big stuff from Tichota. The other thing I think is Tichota looks really bad on takedowns. And Aslander gave up a couple of takedowns in his last fight, so I'm not going to sit here and toot his horn as he's the best grappler ever. But he does have kind of similarly to when we were talking about Kurhela before, he does have really smart defensive wrestling. And in addition to having smart defensive wrestling, I think he could probably take Tichota down. In his last fight, he was looking pretty darn good on the feet. In general, he's looked good offensively striking. His biggest weapon is that his footwork is so good. I think that's part of what keeps him safe defensively, but also sets him up striking wise. I think his gas is going to be better than Tichota, especially because Tichota throws so much and throws so heavy. So give me Aslander. I think, possibly being able to wrestle and definitely being able to stay away from the big blow and then getting him, what'd you say, 350 on him
350,
here?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a steal to me. Ozan Aslander, definitely the best dog play you can find on this card.
He's just trolling you people. He's got to take a big dog to piss off a couple people.
Just that one guy who thinks I'm bad at it.
Why? No, people are always getting mad about underdogs, but they will get mad if you didn't. Oh, all you're doing is picking chalk.
Shout out to Mr. Swerve.
Yeah, Mr. Swerve, Dumb, whatever the other guy's name.
Dumb Alien, and Mr. Swerve.
Dumb Alien,
my boys. This pick's for you too.
It is. All right. Speaking of big dogs, you can find some at mybookie.ag. We're brought to you by them, and MyBookie has been running on SGPN for years. Check out their new improved website, great on mobile. Plus, they have props for every game in the live dealer casino. Even new early cash out options available. Check out all the MMA odds while you're at mybookie.ag, and make sure you use our promo code SGPN for 100% deposit match up to $1,000 plus a $10 casino chip. That's mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN. And SGPN's power partner Rhythm is the #1 AI-powered sports betting platform that helps provide bettors of all levels the ability to build custom predictive betting models in seconds and get predictions for betting on money line, spreads, totals, and props. Build your own model, copy one of the top performing models from the leaderboard, or have Rhythm build you a model. And you can now track props in the Rhythm app. NFL picks, NFL props, college football, college basketball, NBA, Rhythm has it all. Al Horford props, of course they have it. Claim your 7-day free trial today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RTHMM. All right.
I put the little graphics up this time so nobody saw you itch your armpits.
Good. Yeah, I didn't this time. I don't think I itched. I just read off my phone. Tip Sport Game Changer Reserve Bout is the next one. So one of these guys technically could be in the main event if things go their way, right?
Yeah, in case anybody throws a title belt at somebody else and then gets unceremoniously cut from the promotion. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, they just fired their
heavyweight champ.
Heavyweight champ, yeah. And I saw a fight in of course, what's his name? Kapoza posted a fight in Russia. Fighters didn't wait. The one fighter, while introductions were still going on, rushed across the stage and across the cage and started fighting.
Did you also see that Polish promotion? Did you see that Polish promotion?
Yes.
He posted fame that if you miss weight, you have to fight your opponent and his dad.
Yes. And the guy got destroyed and the refs weren't helping him out, eh?
Yeah, because the dad was pinning him down. Shout out to the dad.
And the ref was letting this guy eat a bunch of extra punches before he got tapped out. All right.
Don't miss weight.
We got number 2 versus number 4 in the lightweight division. Mateusz Legierski from Poland. Aji Sardari. He's not from Poland. Where is this guy from? He's even from France. I believe he is from France. Netherlands. Sorry. A lot of those flags are similar. Netherlands. So these guys lost in the tip sport, but they're in the reserve bout.
They both lost to Kita too.
There you go. So they're hoping Kita falls out of his fight then. So they have a shot. Sardari, 18-5, 5 knockouts, 7 submissions. He's been submitted once. 1-1 in Oktagon, 3-1 over his last 4. He did win his last fight. He was the Cage Warriors champion. Used to fight at 145 and 170. An inch taller than Legierski, plus 105. So we got a close one here. Dynamite minus the E at the end. Is 12-2. 4 knockouts, 3 submissions. He's been knocked out once. He's 9-1 in Oktagon, the former champion. So former Oktagon champ versus a former Cage Warriors champ. You're on the buried way down the card too. It shows how strong the card is here. 5-1 over his last 6. He did lose his last fight, as Gumby mentioned. 3 years younger than Sardari, minus 138.
Yeah, I can't believe this line's as close as it is either. I mentioned before that I kind of liked Kurhela's line, and I thought, it was in a good spot. Legierski's might even be better here. This is a really great line and a favorite here. He is coming off that loss with Kita, and my big complaint about him in that fight with Kita, because I want to say I picked him to beat Kita, is that he just didn't wrestle enough in that fight. And I think some people forgot how good of a wrestler he is by the fact that he didn't wrestle in that fight. For some reason, he wanted to throw with Kita, and that's, a plan that only works for nobody. So Legierski is a really great top game wrestler. He has really good pressure both on the feet and when he's on the mat. I think Sardari's probably a touch better in terms of his just pure striking, but I think the gap between the two of them is so minimal that I would not I wouldn't even put it past Legierski to somehow work out a striking victory here. But I think the gap in terms of grappling is so different. Sardari's got some pretty decent jiu-jitsu, but in terms of his wrestling, I don't think he's in the same boat as Legierski. So I'm going to go Legierski here. I like the negative 138 line. That's a great one for me. And let's ride that one to a victory.
All right. There you go. Let's give you a recap before we're out of your orifices until tomorrow. Legierski, he likes the line there. Aslaner, a big dog. Bolander, he likes her despite the big line. Kurhela, another decent line. And Batfalsky, not such a decent line, but it's playable. All right, you're all set for Oktagon 65 on the 29th. We'll be in the Discord talking about this and many other things. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord. You can catch us on YouTube. If you're not watching us on YouTube already, we're at Money. No, we're not there. We're at MMA Gambling Podcast. So make sure you subscribe. You can hit us up in the comments with all your crypto schemes. You can catch us on Twitter as I knock the lights over here. Twitter, SGPN MMA is the handle. Gumby runs that for us, so you can basically send all your crypto stuff to that one too. What else can you do? He said Gumby Breland. I'm a Jeff Fox writer. I have Money MMA Substack up and running. Check that out. Gumby has got Top Turtle MMA podcast. Very good interviews. Tell the people who's on and who's coming up.
Yeah, make sure you listen to last week's edition, which is Oktagon themed. We had Will Fleury and Cecilie Bolander. And then this week's you got Losena Kita. So you can get a whole bunch of Oktagon action in those 2 weeks.
Black Panther is on the episode. Exciting. And of course, sportsgamblingpodcast.com, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/store, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Patreon. Gumby, bid the people farewell.
All right, I'm Dana Gumby Freeland. He's Jeff Chimp Fox, and we will see you tomorrow.